Hi, I'm Liz Hughes, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to another episode of DIY videos. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I use the chalkboard technique to create the background on this sweet little baby card. To get started, I'm going to take a piece of basic black cardstock and a ruler, and using my Stampin' Up! Grid paper, which is already marked off in 1/4 inch segments, I'm going to use the watercolor pencils that Stampin' Up! Sells. I'm going to use the white one, and I'm just going to draw a box 1/4 inch around all the way around this card to sort of frame my image. And the watercolor pencils are perfect for this technique because they really do look like chalk. It's perfect. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to grab my embossing buddy because we're going to use Versamark ink and white embossing powder to emboss our images. So, Versamark ink and the elephant from the Henry Says set, which he is just the sweetest little thing. Go ahead and stamp him. Get out my white embossing powder. Flick off the excess. And we're going to emboss him. I love the embossing technique. It's the first card making technique I learned. And I just thought it was the coolest thing on the planet. And I still do. It's just, there's something magical about watching that embossing powder rise and turn shiny, and it's, love it. Okay, I wanted my baby welcome to the world image to be in a pretty precise place. So because I'm dealing with black cardstock and it's very hard to see using the acetate that comes with the Stamp-A-Majig, I used a piece of vellum. And I just embossed the image onto the vellum so I can see what in the heck I'm doing. Ink that up. Now we're going to add some embossing powder to that. Got a little nuts with the embossing powder there, but that's all right. And then, I don't like this little line that's coming off of the B for baby. So before I use the heat tool, I'm just going to use a small paintbrush and remove that. There we go. More embossing buddy, and then we're going to quickly do the little rubber duck from the Every Little Bit set. Just randomly stamp 3 of them on here. You don't have to worry if you don't have all your ducks in a row. going to take a scrap piece of cardstock. I've got a scrap piece of basic black and Whisper White craft ink. I'm going to ink up our dauber, and we're going to make sure we don't have a whole bunch on here. That's what the scrap paper is for. And we're just going to randomly place ink onto the card. You can blend it a little bit with your finger. This is where we get our chalkboard image or technique from. And it's just that easy. Now, I said the watercolor pencils were perfect. They look like chalk. I'm going to show you. I didn't do it on my original card, but I'm going to use the yellow pencil, and I'm going to color in the ducks really quickly. And you can see it really does look like somebody got out some yellow chalk. And colored the ducks. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a chalkboard. And I have my orange one for his little beak. I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to cut a little in there on the side so I can put my baker's twine in those slits and it will hold it in place. And then I can take my snail and snail this to my card base. Use a couple of glue dots to adhere my little bows that I made in advance. Well, come on, you can do it. They don't want to come off. Adhere those to the corners. And then in advance, I used the Hearts Aflutter set and stamped 2 hearts in the banner. Use a dimensional or 2. Not wanting to come up for me today. And adhere that onto the banner. I've lost my 2 hearts. There they are. And the person that this baby card is for, they don't know the gender of the baby, so I've used both blue and pink. I think that's really fun for their first child. They want it to be a surprise. Then I'm going to adhere the button. And I'm going to stab myself if I do it that way. Put a pearl in the middle of that button. And I think that's probably the sweetest baby card ever. I love it. This technique is a lot of fun, and you're going to want to do this technique with a bunch of different stamps. Just play around and try it. I hope you get out your craft ink and you give it a try today. I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.